This is my masterclass, lesson 21, the art of winning. So, got me, put these over here. So, got me little notes, just some talking points basically. This is more of a philosophy. Let me get a little more comfortable. Pretty much the way that I think when I play. I'm always, the way I do things, I'm always trying to be ahead of the game, right? Always try to look towards the future of what could be possible, what could be introduced into a game, like mechanics and stuff like that. I'm always looking for, the edge, the winning strategy, right? The art of winning, right? And just learning how to win in the first place, right? The idea of winning through decking somebody out, winning through dealing the amount of damage you need to do in a game. Like for example, Dragon Ball Super, 8 damage. Deal 8 damage, you win, right? Your opponent runs out of cards in the deck, you win, right? Your opponent could forfeit, and let you win or something like that, right? So understanding how to win is the first step in the art of winning, right? And then the next step is learning all the different ways you can win and then applying them based off of whatever deck you're using, or just on how you play a deck. Sometimes people play decks like linear, right? They play it in a certain way. They play the deck with what the deck has, and more likely, if they're just playing it the way the deck with what the deck has, they're more likely just playing a deck they probably net deck or something. Like they're just playing a deck that was already pre-built. They're just playing it, and they're doing whatever they can with whatever the deck can do. They're reading the cards, they're playing cards, they're just playing the game at a pretty basic level. Nothing too fancy, right? Nothing too planned out, nothing thought. No game theories involved. They're just playing the game in the most basic way. It's like, oh look, this costs 1 energy and it just takes 1 energy to play, so I pay 1 energy to play. That type of level of basic. So they're just gonna do what the deck allows them to do based off how they draw. So they usually don't have a plan. Now for the ones who do have plans, the ones that's the importance, right? It's like if you know how to win, then you have a higher chance of winning. That comes in handy when you're going up against certain decks that like for matchups, like if you're going up against Dark Broly, for example, understanding how the deck works, its strengths and weaknesses allows you to obviously exploit the weaknesses and try to defend against its strength, right? The more you know, the better, and that's the thing. Knowledge is power, and knowledge is more useful. Experience is more useful. It's more abundant than cards, right? And then options. You draw what you draw, right? You can only put but so many cards in your deck. So those factors, when you shuffle your deck, randomness, right? Random number generator, right? There's certain factors that they go against you. You need to minimize them as much as possible, which is why having a plan and knowing the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent's deck, knowing the strengths and weaknesses of your own deck, so that way you can protect your weaknesses, right? And then abuse your strengths, right? So you need to know that about your deck. You need to know that about your opponent's deck. Then there's the factor of knowing your opponent, like knowing that whoever you're going up against is a human being. Not trying to get into this whole gender thing, but gender does matter sometimes depending on who you're playing against. Gender can be a factor, but a lot of times you're probably going up against a guy opponent, and if you're a guy who's going up against another guy, we pretty much know how guys think. We pretty much know how guys react to certain situations, certain patterns. We know ourselves well enough to know that most other guys are pretty much the same, so you can take advantage of that knowledge of knowing that another guy, for example, right, might combo a certain way, or might block a certain way, might negate a certain way, might attack in a certain order, and the list goes on and on. those, those types of details. So the game goes beyond. That's the art of winning, right? It's beyond just cards. Some people just think it's just cards. Buy the most expensive cards, buy the most powerful cards, and you always win. Well, that's cute. You can believe that all you want. That's not always the case. More often than not, mathematically, the ratio is higher that you lose with that strategy more often than you would actually win with that strategy. The whole play the best cards, play the most expensive cards. You tend to lose more often than not because you're not that good at the game, or random number generator. You just draw bad. Drawback can happen, so it doesn't matter how expensive your cards are. If you draw bad, you draw bad. You know what I mean? And other factors. So I do my best to try to take as many factors to account. Don't want to go rambling on random thoughts, right? So let's stick to the key points. Win condition. You gotta have a win condition. The art of winning is winning, right? So you have to win condition. If you don't know what you're going to do, to win, to deal 8 damage, and you don't understand how to do it, well, you're not going to win. If you don't know how to guarantee damage, if you don't know how to combo your hands properly, the chances of you winning are very slim if you don't know what you're doing. The more you know, the more you can win. Damage output, right? It's important to have some people still try to incorporate a lot of attackers that only do 1 damage. Sometimes they're not even that strong. Sometimes they're just 15k battle cards that don't do anything other than maybe you could play them for free, which is nice to be able to play something for free, but 15k has its limits. 20k would be better, 30k definitely better. So being able to play something for free that's 30k is better than playing something for free that's 15k, especially if it's just going to be a single damage. If it's just going to deal 1 damage from 1 attack, right? You'd rather it be a really strong attack. Basically the whole going tall thing. So go as tall as you can. So the taller you can go, the better. So try to go tall. Bigger is better, and that size does matter in the card games, right? So you want to go bigger. So damage output matters, but you don't want to limit yourself to just 1 damage, right? More damage the better. Double strike, triple strike, quadruple strike, whatever term you can use. I don't know. I don't know what's the term for 8 damage in 1 hit. Because there's quadruple, right? Quadruple strike. What would be something to do 8 damage? I mean, we normally call it victory strike, but you get the point. There might be a battle card. Someday they will have the ability to do 5 damage. But imagine a card that could do 8 damage. That'd be epic, right? But technically, victory strike is the closest we got to that. But triple strike, quadruple strike, really good damage output, obviously. Quadruple strike, that's half your life points. Half of your life points in just 1 hit, so damage output matters. And frequency, like how many times you can output the damage, so that's important. How many times you can do 2 or more damage in a single turn. You don't want turn 1 to just be 1 damage. 2 damage, 3 damage, 4 damage is better on turn 1, right? And then turn 2, same thing, 2, 3 damage, right? The more damage you do every turn, the better. You don't want to do 1 damage every turn, because then it'll take you 8 turns to win. You want to do at least 2 damage a turn, so that way on turn 4 you win. But even then, that's still too far. The way the game is getting to, even waiting until turn 4 is still too long. Like turn 4s now feel like turn 8, right? So you want to win as soon as turn 2 now, right? So then being able to do 4 damage turn 1, then 4 damage turn 2 is the type of goals you want. Of course, I'm already past that. I have to the point where I'm trying to do 8+ damage on turn 1 with my 13 hit combo deck and stuff like that. So that strategy, the X combo strategy, is for that purpose, is to make it where as soon as turn 1 or 2 I can output up to 8 damage. Of course, that damage output is higher. It's just the mathematical probability of me dealing all 13 damage is slim. So if you take 13 and cut it in half, you get like this rounded up to 14, you get 7. So then that one was like what, 6.5 or something like that. 6.5 damage, right? So, but the ratio could go differently, and you could literally deal 8 damage. Just depends on how things play out. But the goal is to do that. I would like to get to a point where I could do 16 damage. We'll be able to output 16 damage. So that way, if only half of that, only 50% of that output hits my opponent life, that'd be 8, right? Half of 16 is 8. So that's like my ultimate goal. I mean, if I can go beyond that, like 20 hit combo, 30 hit combo, 50 hit combo, 100 hit combo, that'd be epic. But that's too much. I feel I could get to 16 hit combos with triple strike. I'm getting up to 13 hit combo through single and double strike. So just think about that. I'm outputting 13 damage with a six card combo on turn 1, just through single strike and double strike. So imagine if all my damage was triple strike, right? That would mathematically, I should be able to go beyond 13 hit combo in that regard. Be able to get to 16 plus hit combo and have half of that at least go through. You know what I mean? Think about it. If most of my attacks are triple strike, all I would need is 3 of my attacks to go through. 3 triple strikes to go through, that's 9 damage right there. Just 3 triple strikes, or 2 triple strikes and a double strike. Which adds up to 8. That's it. Just 2 triple strikes and a double strike to go through. Is all I would need in order to be able to, OTK somebody on like turn 1. You know what I mean? So these are like the types of goals that I have, personal goals. Everybody else can play however way they want, but that's like my personal goals, is to be able to get to that level. So that's one of my personal goals. Another thing is no need for comboing, no super combos. Everybody loves that idea. Well, they love to hate it, and there's people who love to love it, but mostly people hate the whole no super combo thing. But it's like, if I can do it, I can do it, right? What's wrong with trying to achieve the no super combo way of life, right? The no super combo way of playing. If you like super combos, that's fine. I'm not against it. I'm not against 10k combo power. The only thing is that I prefer super combos to have effects. Because to me, super combos, I care more about what I can effect wise, what I can do with super combos, not their zero cost 10k. Because the way I play, I already have a whole bunch of 10ks. I use these as examples. Look, this has 10k, this has 10k, this has 10k, and I use these cards in decks. This have 10k. There's a whole bunch of cards that have 10k combo power. I don't need super combos for 10k combo power. I already have cards in decks that already are 10k combo power. Then there's Champa, Isaprinkai. I can combo them, and that's all I ever really do with Champa and Isaprinkai, is combo them for the 10k boost and the double strike. The double strike is the real reason I even use them in the first place. If it was just the 10k combo power, yeah, I'll just use super combos. Obviously, if all I care about was the 10k combo power. It's the fact that I get the double strike. That's the selling point for me, is the double strike. The 10k is icing on the cake. It's not the cake, right? It's not the most important thing. It's icing on the cake. Just like Heartfelt Plea being a 30k offering triple strike, that matters to me more than its 10k combo power. It's just it is that 10k combo power is beneficial. Since I put this in decks, I have access to both. I have access to this card's power, 30k offering triple strike, all that good stuff, plus the 10k combo power. It's not like I'm missing 10k combo power in my decks. I'm not. I still have 10k combo powers in my decks. So sometimes people try to argue the whole super combo thing with, but it's zero cost 10k. It's like, but you act like I don't have 10k at all in my decks, and I'm lacking in 10k combo power. in my decks, and it's like, no, but I'm not though. I have tons of 10Ks. Yes, I pay an energy, and it's not zero cost to play, but it doesn't have to be zero cost for me to get 10K combo power. I already get them. I already have access to 10K combo power, and I prefer not to even rely on it. I prefer to be in a position where I just swing something with 30K, and that's more than enough, or something that's 40K, and that should be enough. Or if I do combo, I can combo a good amount of 5Ks, and that's more than enough. Because I'm okay with using 2 cards to get 10K combo power for free, than to just use 1 card and get 10K combo power. I'm not saying I don't like super combos like the zero cost 10K. I'm a fan of zero cost of anything. I'm a fan of zero cost 10K. I would love it if all of these didn't cost 1 energy to get the 10K combo power. But beggars can't be choosers, as they say, right? I mean, shit, I want this thing to have at least 5K combo power, but it doesn't. Broly, would be nice if this thing had 5K combo power, right? But Bandai chose to give them 0 combo power. So, beggars can't be choosers, so I'm gonna go with it. They don't want these cards to have combo power, fine. That's okay. But I'm not gonna use that as an excuse not to play them. Think about it. This has 0 combo power, but I still use it. This has 0 combo power. We still use it. Why? Because it's a 30K. That's why. Look, this is a 30K. That's why we play it. Combo power is irrelevant when you have 30K swinging in your opponent's face all day, every day. But let's move on. Speaking of 30Ks, we got the idea of incorporating 30Ks and 40Ks into decks. I mean, any way you can get your attack higher. Like a good example would be MicroRecords Absorb. He has the ability that when he attacks, he gets 5K power for each card in your warp. So he easily goes beyond 30K. So try and incorporate as many 30Ks and up attackers into a deck, with reasonable cost. Like this is overall 4 for 1 energy. This right here is a 25K triple strike for 3 energy. This one right here is 25K triple strike for 4 energy. Heartfelt Plea, if in the right condition, right? You meet his meet the auto condition. You got a 30K triple strike for free. And then of course, you got 30K. Doesn't have triple strike, but you still have a 30K here for free. Skillless Engine, 30K, pretty much for 2 energy, right? Unless you, there's actually a card that can bring this out for free, but you gotta have Sparking 3. I'm looking into playing that card soon. So there will be a free way to bring these bad boys out. Or Sparking 3. It's Commander Red from the leader of the Red Ribbon Army or something like that. So I'm looking into more cards that support skillless battle cards, preferably the 30K skillless battle cards, because I want to put more 30Ks into decks. Then triple strike. The idea of triple strike, like I mentioned. Like you see, this is 30K triple strike. It's already 30K. It's already not triple strike, double strike. It's 30K double strike overall and whatnot. But it's not as good as a triple strike, but it's close enough. It's better than it being a 30K single damage. Like MicroRecords Absorb is nice because his attack goes beyond 30K, but he only does 1 damage unless you like chomp or eat pretty high. But this version of Mirror is 30K and has the double strike already built in, so you already have the damage output's even is higher, so you could definitely use him as a finisher. But I'm trying to do triple strike more than double strike, but you want double strike and triple strikes in general. Triple strike is the best. Triple and quadruple. You wanna have triple, quadruple, but for now we're going with double strikes and triple strikes. So that's why I'm working with double strikes and triple strikes. Also trying to focus on 20Ks, preferably 25Ks. So you see right here, here's a 25K, here's a 25K. So preferably 25Ks and 30Ks, because 25 is pretty close to 30, right? So 25Ks and 30Ks, triple strikers. These are the types of stuff. Like if you pay attention to my deck files, you'll see that a lot. You're gonna see like a lot of the battle cards in the decks are largely gonna have 20K power and above. Trying to avoid the 15Ks, or less stuff, right? That was so 2020 right there with the whole with a whole bunch of free play for low cost 15 and 20Ks. I'm trying to do 25 and 30Ks, you know, and even 40, you know, plus. We'll get there. So that's why I've been putting a lot of ultimates in some decks, because they tend to have 40 power, plus they have triple strike or quadruple strike, or some way of attacking more than once. If they have double strike, they sometimes tend to attack more than once. So I've been trying to incorporate more battle cards that produce more damage. So pretty much almost anything can be a finisher. Instead of having a dedicated finisher, just having a play set of a dedicated finisher. Like instead of having a deck with only Mirror, Creator, Absorb, and like Champa or E-Supreme Kyrite to combo with it as your finisher, and then that's it. You know, and if your opponent plans ahead, they know you have this strategy and this is your only strategy to like try to, you know, finish the game with, then, you know, all they have to do is try to defend against this, you know, prepare for this. But if all your battle cards, plus your leader, plus your unisons, right, maybe an extra card that burns, right, all your cards can be finishers, then it'd be really hard for your opponent to prepare, you know, to defend against that strategy, because everything in your deck literally can win you the game. So that's like my mindset. I'm trying to get to that point where that's what I'm doing. It's like everything kills, right? Everything can lead to your victory. So every roll leads to you winning. Again, the art of winning, right? Stall for your leader to win the game, which is pretty much just defense, is what I'm saying. Try to incorporate defense, sword and shield strategy. You know, you want the stuff you attack with to also be able to defend you, and vice versa. The stuff that defends you, you also want to be able to use it to attack. I use Broly right here as an example. He's 30K. That's great. Oh, just made money. Good eBay business, right? 30K swinging at your opponent. You know, that's a good sword right there. But he also has blocker, so you can block with him. You know, gotta keep your defenses up. So, you know, if you want to go for games, like, all right, you use them to block a couple attacks. Now it's time for you to go for game. Swing with them, give them Champa, E-Supreme Kyrite, dump your whole hand, make them 40K plus, double strike and go for game, right? That kind of stuff. So that's, you know, the kind of mindset you should have, that you want to get to the point where you win, right? Your plan is to win, so you want to lead the battle towards your victory, towards your end game. So you have to have an end game, a plan, a strategy, a win condition. Sometimes even just defending long enough for your opponent to deck out is a win con, or defending long enough that your opponent runs out of gas, as they say, right? They run out of battle cards or abilities to attack. You know, they're running low on options, maybe even literally running low on hand size. I've been in scenarios where people ran out of cards in their hands playing against me, and you know, and I had the advantage. I'm like, okay, now I can just start swinging hard and go for game, because my opponent's hand size is very, very low. And that's all because of moves and actions and decisions I made that forced them to have to be more defensive. I didn't have to be that defensive. I'm definitely been trying to do all the way at the bottom. You see it says endless combo. Don't need to combo. Yes, the endless combo strategy concept, right? The philosophy of, I'd rather be in a situation where the only time I do combo is when I'm comboing when I attack. You know, just because my opponent can combo to defend. And it's not like my opponent's going to be like, you know what, I'm not going to try to out combo this attack. No, they're going to try to out combo it because they don't want to lose. So when I combo, it should be only when I attack. I hate the idea of comboing defensively, comboing when my opponent attacks. Because one, they're always going to attack with their leader. If they have a unison, they're always going to attack with that. So every turn, they're always going to be attacking. And I don't like the idea of just comboing, trying to stop every time they attack. Because you're losing hand advantage in that scenario, right? So you want to keep your hand advantage high. So that's where draw effects come in. That's where you not comboing defensively comes in. So you want to put up a stronger defense. That's why I use unisons that have blockers, because they last longer than just regular blockers. They tend to stay on the field longer. So, you know, that's very useful. You know, so that way my leader is already a sword, and then if I put a unison that has blocker, that's my shield, sword and shield, right? attack and defense. So I take those two things to a factor. So I don't want to combo when I defend, but I do want to combo when I attack. But at the same time, I don't want to lose hand advantage in certain situations. Sometimes I might have to combo to defend, so then I don't want to combo when I attack. You know what I mean? So like I have to switch from one position to another position. So I need to be able to compensate for it. I need to find a way to make it work. So so that's where I wish I had cards here to show you. Oh, wait, give me a second. I might be able to show you some cards, right? Okay, yeah. Let's see. So you're seeing some behind the scenes stuff. Alright, so here's my unison folder, green unisons. So here's something I would use as where is he? Oh, there he is, number 1. Alright, so Bardock, let me zoom in a little quick. Alright, so Bardock, you notice he has an auto that says when your opponent combos, you may place up to 1 card from their combo area and put it in their owner's drop area and negate the skill for turn. And you can use this on either player's turn. You can use this during your battle, your turn, you know, during during your turn when you're battling, or your opponent's turn when you're battling. When they're battling, right? So this right here allows you to reduce their combo capabilities, right? So let's say they combo super combo, then you'll be like, all right, use this effect, send a super combo to the drop. So they no longer get that 10k combo power. Maybe the card has a draw effect. All right, then they draw. Whoop-de-doo. But now they still have to combo 10k, right? Because that's why they played super combo, because they wanted the 10k plus they wanted to draw. But you took away the 10k power, so now they have to add another 10k to replace that one. And if they still needed to combo, then they have to combo again. So now you're reducing their hands, right? You're reducing the hands, plus you reduce the combo power, and you didn't even have to combo, right? In that situation. So this, because what I'm trying to get at is the math of the fact that, let's say point play super combo and you trigger this effect and they didn't do anything. They didn't combo afterwards. They just allowed the 10k to go, and their leader was attacking your leader, and your leader is let's say your leader is awakened. So your leader's 15k, your opponent's leader was 10k. They comboed the super combo because they were trying to make it their leader 20k so they can hit you, but you triggered this effect. Now they lost the 10k. They didn't continue comboing, so now they're 10k attacking your 15k. And you don't need a combo in that situation because you're 5k stronger, so you end up stopping that attack, right? And you end up not taking damage. So technically you comboed 10k. I mean, you comboed 10k in that scenario. Because imagine if they were still 20. If there were still 20 attacking your 15k, in order for you to out combo, you need 10k. So you had to match their 10k with your 10k in order for you to out combo them. But by you using this effect, you took away their 10k. You didn't even have to use anything in your hand. You just triggered this effect, and for free, you were able to out combo them, if that makes sense to you. So that's the way I think of it. The endless combo thing, where it's like either I'm minusing my opponent's ability, power, or I'm adding to my power. And that's where like Planet M2 comes in and stuff like that. So this right here is a way of minusing some power, right? Adding power. I think there's a card that adds power. Yeah, there's a card that adds power. Is it this one? Choose a red battle card, earlier card, yeah, and give it 5k power attacks and can attack your opponent better. Alright, so this can give, so I minus 5k, minus 1 from this card to give my leader 5k boost, right, for the duration of the turn. Now my leader has 5k extra power. So let's say I'm 10k, my opponent's leader is 10k. I use this, now I'm 15. I swing up with my opponent's leader. Now my opponent's in a position where they have to use a 10k combo, right? Up to 10k, right? Like 2 5ks or super combo, right? In order to out combo my attack. And I didn't combo. That's the idea of endless combo. The ability to always get the boost without having to give up cards from your hands to get the boost. It's nice that that's an option, but it shouldn't be. I mean, I've always been against the idea of it being something I had to do. You know, like I had to make my battle cards or leader cards stronger just to try to deal damage. So I've been looking for ways to make my attacks stronger, to prevent stuff. Of course, you know, so that way I don't have make my attacks stronger, so I don't have to combo. So, you know, I'm anti-combo. And then we got stuff like Senzu, right? We got Senzu, which, you know, for the duration turn, 5k boost. And since it's an active battle, that means you can use it in either place turn. I can use it offensively and just have a continuous 5k to my leader's attack. And let's say my leader can attack twice. That's nice. That's like 2 5ks. You know, every attack, I'm guaranteed that my leader has that power boost. Playing a leader that already gives itself 5k, that also adds to the endless combo concept, because if I'm mainly using my leader as my main pressure, like I'm using it to apply pressure every turn, swinging every turn, it being able to give itself 5k is awesome. Plus, drawing a card is always awesome to have both 5k and drawing. So I have a drawing engine, plus I have an endless combo built into a leader right off the bat. That's why I'm a fan of leaders like that, because they utilize 2 of my strategies, which is no need to combo, right, and the drawing engine. No need to awaken to start drawing, like set 1, set 2, and I think even set 3. We were still just drawing on our awakening side. No, as soon as you start, you know, the game, you start drawing, start getting your hand advantage, start making up for, you know, playing cards as energy. Every time you swing, you're replacing the card you put for energy. You're replacing it every time you attack. So I love that. And then, of course, the no comboing, because I don't want to lose a card. I don't want my hand to get smaller every turn just because I'm comboing to swing with my leader. My leader already gets a 5k boost on its own, so I take that type of stuff to account. But as you can see, you know, Senzu definitely makes it where you don't have to, you know, do 5k combo every single attack. A lot of y'all already know, you know, how good that is, obviously. But that goes with my endless combo concept, where I'm trying not to combo as much. And then that leads to my super combo thing, where it's like, yeah, since I'm not really trying to combo like that, it's not too surprising that I don't use super combos like that, because I'm not really trying to combo in the first place. So first it was just that I never really get to use super combos that much, you know, more the old-fashioned ones where you had to have 4 or less life, because I always had 5 or more life when I needed the 0 cost 10k and couldn't get the 0 cost 10k because I had 5 or more life. So that right there became a problem. So after a while, I just kept charging super combos, but then I realized that's just pointless. Why have cards in my deck that I rarely get to use, and then all I end up doing is putting them as energies? Like, I'd rather have cards I can use, cards I want to use. And that's where Champa E Supreme Kai came in, because for 1 energy, I get the 10k combo as soon as turn 1 all the way up to turn 4. Even when I have 5 or more life, I can still get 10k combo power. So I just gotta pay an energy for it, and then I get double strike, which is the most important thing. And it's the reason, you know, I get a lot of wins, is because of that double strike. It will never be because it's a 0 cost. It will never be because of 10k combo power. It will always be because of the double strike. Damage output matters. Because I could dump my whole hand into an attack, and if it's single strike, I'm not going to win when my opponent has 2 life. But if I'm double strike and dump my whole hand into the attack, then yeah, my chances of winning is a lot higher. But again, to each their own, however way y'all want. So right there, you don't need super combos to win. I know that's true. Yeah, stall. So you can win when you're leader. Just keeping up your defenses, because your leader is very reliable. It's always going to be there from the beginning of the match all the way to the end. So having a leader that's a finisher is always a good idea, because it literally can be your win con. It literally can be the one reliable thing you need to win. Because imagine your leader being a win con, right? Being your finisher. So you swing with it to go for game, and then your opponent's like, I'm gonna negate the attack with you know, a sparking negate or something. And let's say you're playing yellow, so then you tap 3 yellow, right, and then play your cooler. Use your cooler and counter that. Or let's say you're playing blue and your leader's a finisher, right, in your swing, and you're trying to go for game. Your opponent tries to negate your leader's swing from, you know, try to stop you from winning. Since you're playing blue, tap 5 blue, play your golden Avenger, right? Your golden ape Avenger. Bang, there, counter. That way you can guarantee your attack goes through, right? Because you countered the negate, and your attack is now in the damage step, right? Now you can dump your whole hand into the attack and finish your opponent off. So, you know, I'm not saying don't play super combos. I'm just saying that I'm at the point where I'm trying to go beyond that, and that's why I'm focusing on stuff that's already strong, or stuff that could already get strong, so I don't have to combo. So I'm trying to get to a point where I'm not even comboing at all. Best way to put it, I'm trying to get to the point where comboing is an option, not something you have to do. That's why I'm not surprised that some people be like, hey man, you're playing some cards that don't have combo power, or you're playing too many unisons or something like that. They don't have combo power, and just, you know, constantly complaining about stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's a problem for you, but not a problem for me. If I have no problem playing a whole bunch of stuff that has 0 cost combo power, like extra cards and unisons and even skillless battle cards that have 0 combo power, then that shouldn't be an issue. Because if I have no problem with it, you know, maybe you need to step your game up and not have a problem with it. You know, get to the point where it's not a problem. You know, if it's a problem for you, that's fine. I understand, and, you know, go use your super combos. Go play stuff that has, you know, some combo power. But don't think that what you struggle with is the same thing I struggle with. You know, we're not the same. You are you, I am me. You know, if you need super combos, then go for it. I've never told anybody not to play super combos. They just that, you know, people notice that I don't play them as often or at all, and it became a big deal. Just like, you know, playing a lot of unisons in a deck. I don't consider 12 a lot, but okay, people do consider 12 unisons to be a lot. So, and, you know, whatever. It works for me. I have no problems playing 12 unisons. I have no problem playing more than that. 20 so far is the max that I've played. It worked pretty well. I have gameplay of me using a deck with 20 unisons in it, and the deck did great, and the decks won. You know, I mean, that's all that matters. All that matters is winning. When you have a win condition, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Sometimes people forget that. Sometimes people forget that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If it works, it works. You know, I could literally have a deck that's just utterly trash, right? It's just poorly built. But if it has a win con, and I, you know, like let's say something as simple as Mirror Creative Absorb and Champa or Isepain Kai, the deck could be utter trash. But if I, you know, attacked enough times with my leader, for example, to a point where you only have 2 life, and then I drop him, swing, you say no negate, I Champa, end up my hand, and his effect triggers, and you lose, that's more important than my deck quote unquote being trash. I could care less. If it works, it works. If I can consistently do this strategy, for example, with that quote unquote trash deck over and over again, well, that's what matters the most. Then the deck can't be really that trash if it's consistently winning. You know, sometimes looks can be deceiving. Something can look like it's not good and still be amazing. But, you know, to each their own. Because the thing is, I look at other people's deck profiles, you know, and I see them, you know, play their gameplays. I see them play their decks, and I see this like, yeah, y'all could have done better. I could do better. Like, I look at it, I'm like, you only did 1 damage on turn 1. If I was playing that deck at that point in time, I could have done more damage. I could have done 4 damage easily if I was playing. but instead you're the one playing. It's your deck, and all you did was 1 damage. Well, that's okay. That's you being you, and I'm me. Me, I would have done 4. Because sometimes I'll literally be watching and I'll be like, oh man, he got those cards in his hand. Okay, if he plays that card and that card, and then he does this, he can do 3 damage. And then after I think that, I'm watching, and the person does 1 damage. And it's like, okay, you only did 1 damage, and that's just with the leader. You didn't even try to do any more than that. And then they'll end their turn or something. And then you're like, but why though? Why didn't you do the 3 damage? I already see you can do 3 damage with your hand, but you didn't. Why? Why matters. Like, why? If you have a strategy that requires you to just only do that 1 damage and then you're going to do more later, then I'm okay. I respect the game. You got a plan, and I'm not knocking your plan. But that's if you have a plan. From what I always tend to see, most people don't have a plan. If they do only 1 damage, it's because they felt they could only do 1 damage. They didn't even try to do more because they were scared. And sometimes that becomes a problem. Fear. Afraid of the clapback, right? But it's like, but if you have Flying Nimbus or what is it called? Dormant Potential, or the popular one, Violent Rays, why are you afraid of a clapback? You have Violent Rays. Like, sometimes I'll see that they'll have like, Dimension Magic, Flying Nimbus, all this, that, they're like, they'll have that stuff, and I'm like, okay, go for 3 or 4 damage right now. You have the ability to do so, and then they just do 1 or 2, and then end their turn. It's like, what? Why? Why not go for the full 4 damage? You got Nimbus, you got Violent Rays. Why not go for the full 4 damage? But anyway, I play how I play. Other people play the way they play. Teach their own. I just share my thoughts, my ideas. What I'm doing. That's what my content is for, is showing you what I'm doing. Whether you want to do it too, that's on you. If you don't want to do it, that's fine too. I don't care. You not doing something has nothing to do with me. It does not affect me. You playing super combos does not equal me playing super combos. You know what I mean? You play it because you need it. I play it because I don't play it because I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, you play super combos all you want. I'll play it what I want. And I do like super combos, only the good ones, not all of them. There's tons of trash super combos, obviously. I only like the good ones, like Nappa and Android 18 and Zamasu. Those are the best ones for me. Those are the best ones I like. Shigesh, of course, classic Shigesh, but he's banned, so I can't use him at the current time. But hopefully Bandai does what I want him to do, which is to errata him, to be able to play, to still do the battle card thing he always does, but make it where like negates the skill for the turn, so that way it's a way we can get a free body on board, but not get the whole fucking Shigesh Kid Goku anti-battle finishers strategy, right? Even though we technically have something that does something similar, this is a beautiful card, because when I play this, I'm like, it feels like I'm playing Shigesh Kid Goku combo, because my opponent will attack with like something that has like double strike or triple strike. Like, maybe they might drop a heartfelt plea, and then I let them draw 2 cards, and then they'll swing, dump their hand into his attack, expecting the attack to go through, right? And then I'm just like, well, 1 energy, bang, drop this from my hand, and now all that was a waste, and I'm still alive, that kind of stuff. So this kind of reminds me, because the whole Shigesh, Kid Goku strategy was just for that, just to avoid getting finished off by a finisher, right? And this feels pretty much the same. So that's why I use this, because it's so good. Plus, it's a 30k overrun beater. A 30k you can play for free just by overrunning 6. It's almost like having Dark Broly in every black deck. And I guess that'll be another video, right? WinCon, I'll just go back to like win, have a strategy to win. Mastering right here, deal with the last 2 damage, master that. The first 4 damage, as I always say, the first 4 damage is the easiest. Your opponent wants to give you the 4 damage. They always let you deal them 4 damage easily. The next 2 requires a little bit of effort. You gotta earn the next 2 damage after that. So that's 6 damage in total right there. And then the last 2 is the one they don't want you to take. They don't want you to deal them the last 2 damage, and that's the ones you have to earn. So master that. Master dealing the last 2 damage either through burn effects, which I'm a fan of. I'm trying to get more burn effects to help me deal the last 2 damages so that I can always, you know, win, because the first 6 is easy, the last 2 tends to be the hardest. So mastering that, getting, you know, that's where 30Ks and triple strikes come in, because they're strong. They're already strong, so that's less effort, less skill, less combo. And remember, less combo less, and less combo strategy, and just go for game. So that's why something like this, you know, Assault from the Sky's Mirror, he's 30k and double strike, so you got both, right? You got both the 2 damage necessary to finish the game, plus it starts off at 30, and you just gotta make it stronger than that. So, which shouldn't be too hard if you have a strategy where you're drawing a whole bunch of cards. And that's the end of this video.